It was all about the light recently at this house near Whitehaven that sits on the banks of the Wicomico River. It was late afternoon on a day just after Thanksgiving, and friends were gathering to enjoy another kind of light show that was soon to get underway.
Tonight is the Christmas boat parade on the Wicomico River.
A foggy morning in the autumn can be a beautiful thing. The clear skies and calm winds that cause the fog promise a beautiful day after the sun burns away the last of the ghostly mists. My son Daniel and I picked up a couple of kayaks at the Pocomoke River Canoe Company in Snow Hill. We made it to the Porter's Crossing Bridge just in time to catch the last magic moments of the morning calm.
I just can't get enough of that reflection in the water. It is perfect. It's a big old black mirror. It just kind of doubles the fun because you can see everything from a totally different perspective.
At about the midway point in the 2.5-hour journey, the river opens up and the pace quickens, but there are still plenty of jewels to discover along the way that beckon for a brief stop. This balloon can safely take up to 10 passengers, and it's state-of-the-art. It's where 18th and 21st century technologies come together. Where else do you see a fire reflected in a GPS screen?
Say up, up, and away.
Bye!
We're taking off from the town of Greensboro, Maryland on this crisp November morning, and one of the first things we'll see is our reflection in a mirror, the surface of a perfectly calm Choptank River. The winds are gentle this morning, and there's practically no sound at all except for the conversation among the passengers and the occasional blast of hot air keeping us aloft.
One experience that will stay with me probably forever is that goose hunt with Sean Mann up in Queen Anne's County. Now, of course, the day was perfect. There was snow, there were geese, there were deer off in the distance. The calling was perfect and whatnot. But to find out that the sportsman's ethic is still alive was the greatest experience for me. I will always remember when that huge flock of geese came in, stooling right in front of us, close enough to hit with a rock. And Sean Mann says, "Don't shoot, there's too many of them."
7 and 2, 7 and 3.
Steve and Carly use a simple tool called a transect and show us how they take a subsample to determine crab numbers.
There's so many crabs it would be hard to measure, to count them all on the beach. So what we do is we subsample. We take 1 meter square, and then we measure the beach. The beach is 200 meters long. And we take six different samples, and then we can take an average, and then we can calculate how many crabs are on the whole beach.
In the Maryland coastal bays, peak spawning occurs in June, but it goes into July. So unlike the more northern bays like Delaware Bay or the inland bays, their peak sampling occurs in May.
And just then, could it be? Surely it can. But it is. It be the dreaded Pirate Pete.
You think you can take the treasure from the great Pirate Pete? God save!
To live by. You can eat any mushroom once, but you should not. So we talk about ID, skills for ID, staying safe while foraging mushrooms. So as we go, it's a good idea for everyone to spread out a little bit. If you see a mushroom, shout, "Mushroom!" And then I will come and take a look at your mushroom with you. Mushroom! But it's a cousin. It's Ganoderma tsugae or another related Ganoderma species. So the most important thing about foraging mushrooms is to never eat anything unless you are 100% certain about what you're eating before you do. And so how do you become certain? You learn how to ID mushrooms. You learn about what the stems look like, what the gills look like, what the pores or teeth under the cap look like. You must identify each mushroom for what it is using the dichotomous key.
And this is just one colony, so we'll explore more of the Shankses. This bigger colony has plenty of fledglings.
The pelicans lay between 2 to 3 eggs, about 30 days of incubation, and then 75 days from hatch to fledge. So 30 days plus 2 months, it's like 3.5 months from incubation to flight. So it's a long season. And they spend their summers here, so there'll be birds out here into August, even some into September before they're flying, and that's when you see them on the beaches. So if you start seeing pelicans like at Assateague, Ocean City, or Lewis, whatever, a lot of them probably are these birds that have fledged and they're taken off. Then they go expand and fly. They go all the way up to Long Island.
If you could peer through the fog on a recent Sunday in Cambridge, Maryland, you would see part of the Frederick C. Malkus Bridge and the arrival of over 300 people who are soon going to swim next to it.
So Maryland Freedom Swim is a celebration of recreational use of the waters. We tie Talbot County and Dorchester County together by swimming underneath the Choptank River Bridge. It's 2 miles from the other side. Our partners over at Ferry Point Marina allow us to go in on the beach over there, and then we go underneath the bridge and we stay right between them the entire way.